So, if I asked you, what is the second coming of Jesus? if I asked you, if I asked you to picture the second coming of Jesus, what pops into your mind? That's what I want to know. Like, what what do you think about when you hear that? Because I see it a lot. Every time some crazy shit happens or some wild shit in the comments, it's always, oh, the second coming of Jesus. So, wait till Jesus comes back. this is how this is how you know humans don't think. They just say shit. Let me explain. What do you think of when you hear the second coming of Jesus? Let me tell you something about Jesus. Um, See, this is the thing that I don't think people have put to get pieced together. They don't understand it. Jesus, and I'm going full Bible theory here. Okay, Jesus was a man. Jesus was a man. All right. So what supposedly happened was God put his, you can say he put his spirit into the man that made the man Jesus. Meaning the knowledge, the teachings, the miracles, all that shit. But he was a man, right? He was born on earth. So when you hear the second coming of Jesus, this is how I take it that people take it. When people hear the second coming of Jesus, it seems like they think that Jesus is coming back, like that guy is coming back. No. That guy is dead. He died. If Jesus came back right now, none of you people would think he was Jesus. You wouldn't. You wouldn't listen to anything he says. You would call him a conspiracy theorist. Half of you people would tell him that school has failed him. That's seriously. If Jesus came back right now, because it's not the man, it's the spirit of Jesus, right? So technically, that nigga could have been came back. God could have put the same spirit he put in Jesus in somebody else, and he could be walking this earth right now, but you wouldn't know. because he would be trying to tell you the truth about this world, and the truth, you're so far from the truth, you would say he's crazy. You would laugh at him. I know enough to know that. If Jesus was here right now, he walked from city to city or traveled from city to city telling people the truth about this world, you would laugh at him. And I'm talking the most religious people. Y'all wouldn't know what to do with the guy. Seriously, think about what I'm saying. You think the second coming of Jesus is some white guy with a beard? It's really a mindset, but for the sake of conversation, you think he's some white guy with a beard, like the same dude is gonna pop back up. No, that nigga died. His body is dead. The spirit is what remains. So if somebody was like, I could fucking be Jesus for all you know. You know what I mean? And if you're saying, well, Jesus wouldn't cuss, you're an idiot. You know, you didn't think before you spoke. I could be Jesus for all you know. After all, I do go around telling people the truth about this world. So what's the difference? Really? What, I can't turn water into wine? I'm not being blaspheming. I'm just being honest. Like, if Jesus was here right now, if he incarnated right now, it would be pointless. Because I know enough about this world to know that most humans are so far from the truth. You wouldn't know what to do with it. Everything is inverted. What you think is not, and what you fail to realize is. And until you come to that conclusion on your own, a Jesus person wouldn't do anything for you. Literally would do nothing for you. What? y'all gotta stop it with this whole second coming of Jesus. What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think the nigga gonna come on a cloud? you think you think he's gonna pop up on a cloud? That's what you think. You think some white guy is gonna pop up on the cloud and start talking shit? No, nigga. No, nigga. He's gonna be born. He's gonna have the knowledge of this place. And he would try to tell you, like I'm trying to tell you right now, and you would have the same reaction. Fucking second coming of Jesus. The fuck out of here. You guys don't even listen to the truth. I see it all the time. Whenever I see a video of somebody telling the truth, I always go to the comments and read. And you people are the worst. You can't handle that shit, dog. If you knew half of the truth about this place, you would lose your mind. Literally. You would literally lose your mind. Why do you think they put it in movies? When someone gets too much knowledge, they go crazy. Why do you think that is? It's because you're so far from what you think is true that the truth would only hurt you. This is why this is why God, he will let you learn things, but at a certain pace. Not pace, right? Because if he gave it all to you, you you wouldn't know what to do. You would go insane. And I know that. So I know God knows that. Come on, dog. Second coming of Jesus. You guys would throw stones at him. You would I just learned the truth about you know who from Germany. You know what I mean? If I told you that the you know who's who no one can speak about are really the bad guys. And when somebody rose to try to stop them, they made that guy into the worst of us. Do you realize that? The more you look into it, you'll see it. They made him into the worst of us. So now every time somebody mentions his name, it's always with negative feelings, negative emotions. They totally twisted it. That's all it was. They were doing shit that you weren't supposed to do. Some dude came and like, nah, you're not doing this shit. And I'm going to handle it the way I have to handle it because you guys are out of hand. And he won the fight but lost the war, or however you say that type shit. So now what they have done was they have convinced you that this fucker was evil when they are the evil ones. It's obvious. Why who runs the world? Why can't you talk about these people? Do you ever think about that? Look at how much emotion and thought is going into this one little topic. Do you really think that you could handle the truth of everything? You haven't even realized that yet. You see what I'm saying? Very simple, basic, elementary concepts. Most people on this planet have not realized. You go about your day like these things don't exist. You ignore them. But you think that the second coming of Jesus, that this mystery person is going to come down from the sky and convince you of the truth? No. For what? So you can treat him like you do me or anybody else who tells you the truth? Call us crazy conspiracy theorists? Tell us that school has failed us constantly? Why would he do that? It's hard enough for me to deal with that shit. What do you think when you think of the second coming of Jesus? Because I'm trying to tell you, it could have already happened and you wouldn't even know. He could be standing right next to you, you wouldn't know. You see, here's what I believe. I'll say believe. It's more of a no. I know this, but for the sake of you, I'll say believe because that's what you guys do. Um, God talks through people, right? I could just be me going throughout my day, and then I could meet a random person and we could have a crazy conversation, and then I start telling the truth, and then the spirit comes through me and delivers the truth. It's not even me doing it. I'm just a vessel at that point, right? So let's say that happens, and I'm speaking to you, and you're never minding me. What are you to do? If somebody tells you the truth, I tell this a lot on Instagram. I tell people this because I'll say a certain truth and they'll deny it and they'll try to combat me. And I'm like, bro, once you're told or shown the truth and you reject it, you're kind of fucked, aren't you? Because what else is there but lies? Like you, I don't expect people to agree with me because like full on because I know the programming is steep. But you don't have no wisdom to you don't have there's nothing in you to be like this something to this. You don't even have that. You are lied to every day, all the time, even when you're alone. Even when you're alone, you're lied to, and you live and love lies, but none of you want to claim to be a liar. Lies aren't even evil. It depends on how you're using it. It's a tool, like the truth is. The truth can set you free, yes, but it can also make it worse. If you lack knowledge or the wisdom, if you lack wisdom, the truth will do nothing for you. It's just words at that point. So if Jesus came back today and was walking around telling people the truth, it wouldn't do nothing for none of you. I know that. He knows that. Everybody knows that shit. Everybody should know it. Well, that's why you people are useless. You can't even see for yourself. It's like, do you guys know that they were giant people or beings here and giant creatures here? What do you think the ground is that you're walking on? And they show you this. It's in movies, it's in all this stuff. But then they have like there are rocks because they're petrified, obviously, that look like creatures. But then people will say, "Oh no, it's just like that." Like you're crazy for thinking that. It's just the way it looks. It's just what do you mean? It's just the way it looks. You mean all these faces that are sticking out of rocks are just it's just happened to look like that? You think all those giant rocks look like elephants and shit? It just so happened to look like that. You can't even accept the truth when it's in your face, let alone another human telling you. You guys don't. You see, the thing about Jesus is he would be a normal human, dressed normal. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? Because he's not a person of power, or that you perceive power, like a professor. You wouldn't take it seriously. Because if I can go to a classroom right now, and who do you think they're going to believe, me or the professor? Because in your mind, the program tells you that the professor has the information that you need. So you would more likely take in what he's saying over what I'm saying because I'm just a regular person. Especially if you look at my life. Oh, you don't have no money, you don't have a car, you don't have this. Like, Jesus didn't have any of that shit, but whatever. You guys, if Jesus came back now, you guys would tear that dude apart, dog. You probably would do him worse than what they did. And that's the sad thing about it all. You guys want a savior so bad, but you wouldn't know how to recognize him if he showed up, is what I'm saying. Because you have no wisdom. Once a person wants to know the truth, they will be drawn to the truth. Do you see what I'm saying? Like me, I want to know the truth about this world. I constantly seek it. So I'm drawn to it. I'm drawn to certain things that have clues in them. That is up to me and my wisdom to recognize the clues and put the pieces together. Because you have to do it that way. You can't just God's not just gonna tell you the truth because he knows it's too much for you to handle. So what he has to do is he has to guide you to that shit and give you little parables and shit like this is like this type shit. So you have a understanding of what you're dealing with. If it's not that, it's not going to happen. Because honestly, the truth is in your face. It's been in your face. But you cannot see it. You cannot see it because you don't seek it. It eludes you. I was talking to my mom the other day about religion. And I was telling her, like, it's crazy because these religious people, they pray to God. They want to get closer to God when all they have to do is look inside themselves. That's it. It's literally it. But because religion forces you to look outside of yourself for what's inside of you, you'll never see it. You'll never grasp it. It's like you ever been looking for your phone and you realize that you're holding your phone? The phone was in your hand the whole time. You're like, oh, like duh. That's God. That's the same thing. The same thing happens once you realize who you are. You're like, oh, duh. Like I'm an idiot. It was in me the whole time, just like your phone was in your hand the whole time. You see how I made that connection there? That means I know what I'm talking about. But of course, you people are not going to take advice from me because who am I? Who am I? I'm nobody. You don't know me. You can't even see me right now. So why would you listen to anything I have to say? After all, these are just my opinions, right? This is what I mean. If Jesus came back and was telling you the truth about this world, you would never mind it. It's obviously so. So why does everybody keep talking about the second coming of Christ? Because you're lost. You're insane. Why are you looking for something when it's already in you? Yes, literally in you. It's one thing for me to think that I'm God. It's a different thing for me to know it. Once you know it, like you know your name, then things start to change. Everything is different now. You start to see things you never saw before. And even though they're right in front of your face, like your phone being in your hand. I don't know. I'm just rambling. But I'm spitting facts, dog. Dropping jewels on you niggas. It's just funny to me how like everybody's looking for something that they already have. And the more you keep looking outside of yourself, all you're doing is you're gonna find replacements for what's in you. This is why they tell you all these people worship deities because they didn't know what they were. They didn't understand. They literally didn't understand. This is why you can't come together. You notice like how fish and birds come together to move around and fly. Do you know when they do that? It's all one fish. It's all one bird. How do you think they move at the same time? Different angles. It's all the same thing. but they realize that we are separate, but we are all one. So they can click up like that. Why humans can't do that? Because the separation is too steep. This is why you go to church. This is why you read the Bible. This is why you pray to God. Pray. Why are you asking for? Why do you why don't you just ask yourself? You see, the programming will tell you that I'm being arrogant right now. The program will tell you like, oh no, you can't put yourself in God's shoes. You're not the most high. That's the programming. That's that's there by design to stop you from seeing who you are. That's it. So niggas know out here that if Jesus came back, shit, treat that man like shit, dog. You're not ready for that shit. humans, humans are funny creatures, dog. Funny, funny.